like to make sure that my listening audience gets a preview. Good evening and welcome to Grandma's Attic Music Review. I'm so happy to be with you. I'm so happy to be able to bring you music each and every week. Tonight we have a wonderful guest. I first saw him play at the Pass Guitar in Rhode Island. It was a wonderful event for the homeless shelter, and they raised a good amount of money, and I got to see this artist do his thing. When they do Pass the Guitar, they only get to do, I think it's 2 songs, so I didn't get as much of him as I wanted. So I asked him if he'd come and be on my show, because I knew that, because of what I heard at first, that he would bring lots of really great music to Grandma's Attic. So please sit back, relax, and enjoy what my guest tonight brings to you. Please welcome into your homes Kendzia, right? Kendzia. There we go. Glenn Kendzia.
Little Oriole, sing me a song of God. Time to give, there's nowhere I belong. I was thinking of someone I don't even know anymore. Little Oriole, how do you move when it feels like the world's turned its back on you? I know you can't hear me, but I talk as if you do. Oh, I was hoping for me it would not be the same. It is anyway. Little Oriole, how many men have hope your flight takes what is haunting their heads? Are we trying too hard to find God in the beat of your wing? So little Oriole, what's there to say when you realize it all slowly fades till it's gray? I'm in love with the truth, but I long for the comfort of lies. Whoa, I was hoping for me it would not be the same. It is anyway. Little Oriole, stay here with me. We'll tell ourselves that we'll outlast everything. Or maybe you'll leave me to up and take off in the wind. I guess it is what it is.
play a song I wrote called Good Heart.
Too many hangovers, too little time. Two of the many things on your mind. Two steps from any edge at any given time. How did I get to this point in my life? Well, $10 you planned it this way all along. $10 you're faking. I thought a good heart was all I needed to get by. Imagining life as it was as a kid, replaying all of the things I ever did, as if I could change it or feel it once more, as if everyone still was the same as before. Too many things I should say to my friends, they all wound up staying inside of my head. So I order another and sit in my mind, pretending one day everything will be fine. Well, $10 you planned it this way all along. $10 you're faking. I thought a good heart was all I needed to get by. Well, why did they get a walk free? And why do I stay in bed with these feelings? I thought a good heart could not be lost without reason. Another blackout bender on a bar crawl through town. Another bleary-eyed morning with the come down. I felt it back then and I'll feel it again. For now wasted my time just remembering when. Well, $10 you planned it this way all along. $10 you're faking. I thought a good heart was all I needed to get by. Why did they get a walk free? And why do I stay in bed with these feelings? I thought a good heart could not be lost without reason.
Nice.
This is a song I wrote called Shy Hinges, and I wrote it, I was going through a little bit of a personal issue, and at the same time Hurricane Sandy had hit the area, and it was real time. I wrote it that day when trees were falling in the backyard. That in and of itself was pretty scary, but it kind of was a mirror to what was going on in my own life.
I ever tell you how much I loved you? If not, here's a toast to that and the things I never did to. It's just that Poseidon is not in your mind when Dionysus slowly disrobes and crawls into your bed. Well, I found myself on roads I swore that I'd never travel down, and I've drawn tired fists in the alleys of this town. When the river gets low, you can't I built this home to stand tall, shy hinges and all. Of all that I could take with me to my grave, the only thing I'll bring along with me is the cleanest of slaves. I found myself on road to swore that I'd never travel down, and I've drawn tired fists in the alleys of this town. But when the river gets low, you can bet I'll swim before I drown. Oh, I built this home to stand tall, shy hinges and all. I've built this home to stand tall, shy hinges and all.
Noise.
So that song that was mentioned earlier that I played at the Pastor Guitar event at the Christ Church in Westerly, I had just written it right before then, so I'd like to play that one. It's called All You Can Do.
A sycamore sways in spite of its weight, like gunmen words that you can't unsay. Past days hang in a frame on the wall, constantly come to pass, but they still linger on. Cries for the everyman and cries for the law, cries for the ones who have given up. Prayers will be said, but they work too slow when you have to fix the things that someone else broke. It's all you can do. 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 I looked to the crowd and I felt so small. I have to wonder why I even worry at all. Got the tools in a box and a plan and a game, but the bartender winks and I order the same. It's all you can do. 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 Second-hand premonitions can't solve the world in a day. Keeping on with the thinking, but I still don't know what to say. It can patter like the rain or rush like the flood. All that's gonna be left are the things you've done. Say one for me and I'll say one for you. Cheers to you trying to make it through. It's all you can do. It's all you can do. It's all you can do. It's all you can do.
A lot of my songs tend to be weighty, and I'll look out at the audience and, you know, you can kind of hear a pin drop, which is great. But every now and then I like to pepper in a song that lightens the mood a bit and is a bit satirical. This is one of those called What Do You Know?
I was in a craze and she was drunk. We both said I love you just a little too much. 'Cause when we were sober we were both pretty hushed. I wonder what that's all about. 2 for 2 and toodaloo to you. You're gonna live until you die no matter what you do. Till then I'm gonna swim in a martini coupe and have a little Mary Jane to boot. Hey, what do you know? It's systemic. Boredom is the new epidemic. Go up in flames like your childhood saints and cue the credits. Get to thinking that it's all a game. Get a notification that you're going insane. History's there so we can do the same. I wonder what that's all about. Hey, what do you know? It's systemic. It's just $1 million once you get it. Spend the remains like your childhood saints and cue the credits. Get yourself a spot on a reality show. They're gonna give away the White House in the last episode. I'd like to think that line is an outrageous joke, but here we are without a doubt. Well, here's the thing, it all circles back. You get to thinking that you're getting back on track. And one day it seems it wasn't even that bad. I wonder what that's all about. Hey, what do you know? It's systemic. People talked until they no longer meant it. Everything fades like your childhood saints into semantics.
Thank you. This is a newer one I wrote called When You Are Gone.
Will the peep frogs in the springtime make me smile when you are gone? Will I come to dread the arrival of their sound? And will the crocus re-emerging reassure me life goes on? How will I find new life when you are gone? How will I find new life when you are gone? Will I still take pride in a day's work when you are gone? Will I convince myself that I can talk to you through song? And will I laugh when I see you in something I've done? Or will I measure up to when you're gone? Will I measure up to when you're gone? Most of the time, time isn't on our side. Wish to be older, to be younger, and to never say goodbye. I used to be a dreamer, no alarm could wake. Now I'm facing facts that I don't wanna face. I'm facing facts that I don't wanna face. Will I be consumed with my regrets when you are gone? Will I plot my way to heaven's gates to find your arms? And who will I turn to on the days when I feel lost? How will I find the light when you are gone? How will I find the light when you are gone? Most of the time, time isn't on your side. Wish to be older, to be younger, and to never say goodbye. I used to be a dreamer, and no alarm could wake. Now I'm facing facts that I don't wanna face. I'm facing facts that I don't wanna face. I don't want you thinking of how I'll be when you're gone. For what it's worth, it could be me who leaves before you're done. So let us make a pact: when one goes first, the other will move on, and appreciate what we have till it's gone. We'll appreciate what we have till it's gone.
So I live in a small town that I grew up in, and if you're from a small town, you tend to know everybody in that town culture where everyone seems to know everyone's business. So there's a tune about that called Fishbowl Town.
Put the pundits on an endless loop. They know more about you than you know about you. A full newscast of every lover past. She wasn't his first, he wasn't her last. It's idle kind of thinking, but it's second skin. We chastise our friends for the same old things. Watch your secrets become headlines. You're a secondary source for your own life. Can we do without the news? Don't need to know who's in cahoots with my brother. Oh, it's a fishbowl town, so the word gets around before we're even under the covers. And none of us ever can get off easily. Tie a paper trail to both of your feet, so I know all the things you've done before we even meet. Sell your friends out over some drinks. Tell me why they're wrong, as if I cared what you think. A spoken inventory of who's getting laid while you're thinking to yourself, well, I bet it felt great. God forbid we draw the line. Can we shoes. Don't need to know who's in goods, my brother. Oh, it's a fishbowl town, so the word gets around before we're even under the covers. So none of us ever can get off easily.
Nice.
Welcome to the moving picture. What kind of end do you predict? Someone told me once it all looks different depending where you sit. It's different depending where you sit. Camera lend a lazy eye. We need to hide a million things or two. Backstage is a man I admire, but I've been paid to keep him hidden from view. There's always something hidden from you. Well, I picked up the trophies, I picked up the bill, and a head full of reasons I'm falling ill. Cancel my plans, I've got nowhere to go, and I'm going alone. Hey, wake me up, I missed my line. Award season is coming, and they're calling this the best role in my life. Yeah, they're calling this the role of my life. Well, I picked up the trophies, I picked up the bill, and a head full of reasons I'm falling ill. Cancel my plans, I've got nowhere to go, going alone. I'm jumping back into the same conclusions, covered up the heart of my sleeve. I'm doing knots at the end of the line to watch it all come easily. It always comes off easily. Spun a web of guilt to lay on, built a tower on the top of a hill. See it sway till it finally crumbles, but still all tangled up in silk. I'm always tangled up in guilt. Well, I picked up the trophies, I picked up the bill, and a head full of reasons I'm falling ill. Cancel my plans, I've got nowhere to go, and I'm going alone. I've got nowhere to go, and I'm going alone.
Nice.
It's a song called Home.
A night that you don't forget, with words that were never meant. We certainly all have at least one of them. With you is my paradigm, and though you're still alive, I know that I'll never again be by your side. We were naive kids trying to live by candlelight, but you're still every detail I was enamored by. And it's been years since the night seemingly final words were said. I just wanna watch you age. Will you come home again? We were naive kids trying to live by candlelight, but you're still every detail I was enamored by. And it's been years since the night seemingly final words were said, but I just wanna watch you age. Will you come home? I took a little vacation, stared at the kitchen floor. I'm here but I checked out. Have you done that before? Remember 10 and the sadness of losing my first dog. But the tears, they weighed more once I learned to feel flawed. And I looked for truth like it was some kind of instinct. Still we hang our dreams from broken windows. Someday shards of light are simply not enough. Or maybe next year will be better, works for someone. Where are you, my wild son? To all the friends I've lost touch with over these years, will you get them on the line now? I need to talk through these fears. I'll buy this miracle book, I'll go to the lectures too, and I'll read quote after quote like I've been asked to do. Well, I've said the same things too in some form or another. Still we hang our dreams from broken windows. Someday shards of light are simply not enough. Well, maybe next year will be better, works for someone. Where are you, my wild son?
You want to come and sit and join me, and we'll
Absolutely.
chit-chat about life? So while Glenn's getting over here, let me just remind you that we're in summertime now. Downtown New London is in full swing. There's not a weekend that goes by that there's not some kind of something going on down on the pier. Check it out. Go to see the galleries. Go to see the festivals. Check it out. In July, we'll have the ever crazy Sail Fest that brings so many thousands to downtown New London. Remember to put that on your calendar, and know that New London is the place to be in the summer. Hi, Glenn.
Hi.
How are you?
Doing well. How are you?
Thank you so much for coming to the attic.
Thanks for having me.
I am so happy to be able to hear a broader range of the catalog of your songwriting abilities.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to stretch out.
It's nice that when did you start writing music? You're so young.
I've probably about 15 years now. I've been writing since I was, early teenager.
Really? What made you think that you could write songs?
Well, my parents are both musicians. My dad is a songwriter, composer.
Okay.
So I knew it family-wise, and I wouldn't say I thought I could do it when I first started. And I hope no one knows those songs, but as I went, it got, better and better, and I started to find my voice and what I wanted to say.
So you come from a musical family.
Yes.
And you were writing songs in your early teens. What made you think that you wanted to play guitar, though? Because some songwriters play other instruments. Do you play anything else besides the guitar?
I do. I play piano. I played bass, actually, when I was a kid.
Nice.
And that's how I started playing guitar. I started to feel a little limited by the 4 strings.
Mm-hmm.
But it certainly gave me a good fundamental to bring over to the guitar.
Right.
And certainly for writing and stuff, it just felt like I could do a lot more with the instrument than bass. So,
Okay.
yeah.
When did you start taking piano lessons?
I took piano lessons when I was about 8 or 9.
Mm-hmm.
Did the whole recital thing and
Nice.
all that fun stuff. But
Your parents wanted to encourage you in the music field.
yeah, absolutely.
Are they supportive of you now still?
They are. They're very
Do they come
supportive.
to your shows?
They do. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
No, I'm lucky. It's always nice to see them out in the crowd.
Now, where are some of the places that people can find you to play?
So I play live at a lot of places, Strange Brew in Norwich, the Knickerbocker in Westerly,
Yep.
some of the live bars downtown like Perks and Corks in
Yep.
downtown Westerly, New London. I play at the Oasis fairly often. So kind of all
Really?
over. Yeah, the Oasis and
Nice.
33 Golden.
Great. Those are wonderful places. Every single one of those places that you named is a place that I, at one time or another, on a pretty regular basis, attend and or go to. I love the Strange Brew in Norwich. Jason has done such a good job of bringing live music to
Yeah.
Norwich. Norwich was just, I'd have to say, pretty dead when it came to music for a long time.
Right.
And now Jason has opened up the Strange Brew and moved into a new facility.
Yeah,
I mean,
the new spa is great.
Yeah,
And
the
really-
acoustics are nice. The place is beautiful.
Yeah.
He's done a great job, so we appreciate Jason. Thank you. There's a shout out for you, Jay. That's all wonderful. What do you think your muse is to songwriting? You said when you were playing that some of your songs, or most of your songs, are on the heavy side. What is your muse to make you write songs? What is your inspiration?
It's not one thing. It's more a style, I would say, of articulating things that are a little more difficult, or that typically don't come out in the couple minutes. You might see someone say, "Hi, how are you?" We're quick to say good or okay, not
Fine.
great, right? And even in friendships and stuff, we harbor a lot of things that don't often come out. So it's those kinds of things that I like to write about and see in other people that we kind of all share.
So do you think that your feelings and the feelings that you put into your music are the feelings that normal earth people that can't write music, such as myself, have those feelings, and that you're just putting a voice to them?
Yeah, for the most part. I certainly don't think that my experience is everyone else's, but I think we all definitely can relate to most of the common things that I talk about. I'm not reinventing the wheel by any means, but whether it's love or heartbreak or mortality, anything, we all experience that.
Right.
So for me, the thing is, whether you're reading a book or watching a movie, and there's that line that kind of pops out and says, "Oh, that's what I felt. That just summed up something I felt."
I find that in your music. I find that several of the songs that you played, I could relate to in a really big way. Fishbowl Town, that Fishbowl song. I grew up in a really, really small town, and it's so true.
Oh, yeah.
The words that you put to that were so real. I hadn't heard it done. I think there's a song called My Little Town, and I want to say that it was Simon and Garfunkel that did that. My Little Town, or was that Paul Simon? Paul Simon, I think, maybe.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with it.
One of those two did a song called My Little Town, and it's kind of like that, and it touches on all the little nuances of small town living. Where do you want to take your music?
I admire the paths of musicians who have been sort of versed in a lot of different types of writing. They've had a long career doing writing for themselves or other artists, maybe spent time in a band. I don't really just want to limit it to one thing. So for now, I'm happy performing. I have a band called Wild Sun. We perform a lot. We're just working on a new record that should be out by the end of summer.
I think that you should bring Wild Sun back here when you release that CD.
Yeah, we'd love to.
That would be fun.
Yeah, it'd be
Now,
a lot of fun.
what kind of music do you do with your band?
Oh, so a lot of the same songs I played today, just with a trio behind it. So
Okay.
I play electric guitar. We have a bass player and a drummer. So it's kind of like that 90s alt power pop.
Nice. That's fun music.
Yeah, it is. There's a lot of energy. It's good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's kind of putting that heaviness a little lighter when you play it with a band, don't you
absolutely.
think?
Yeah.
Lightens up that heaviness that goes with some of your music.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, when people hear those songs with the band, they're jumping around, dancing. They don't even realize that it might be a weighty kind of topic or something until it's played acoustic.
It sinks in, though. It sinks in. All that
Yeah.
stuff sinks in some way or another. It's true. So you have your band, and you're getting ready to put out a CD. That's all really wonderful stuff. But when I asked you, where do you want to see your music go? Do you want to become, let's just say, the next Dylan? You're a songwriter. The way that you write your songs is poetry, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Do you see yourself going the way that Dylan went?
I don't know if I would ever push that hard as like a solo career.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to kind of be writing behind the scenes for other artists.
You would?
Yeah, I would. I think when you put yourself out there that much, you sort of lose that ability to sort of get away and reflect, and that's what I would always like to be able to do.
Do you find yourself to be somewhat introverted when it comes to your social skills? As a writer, do you find yourself to be more introverted, or are you an extrovert?
It's funny. I definitely am introverted, but I love to go out and be around people.
Uh-huh.
But I think it's more of an observational thing.
Me
And I'll
too.
sort of catalog conversations and stuff and look back at them and, mine out lyrics and nuggets and things like that.
Isn't that funny? Because I'm like that too. I like to be out in public, but I like to be all alone.
Yeah.
In that out in public kind of setting.
Right.
Now, when you're writing a song, how do you go about doing that? Do the words come to you first, or do the tunes come to you first?
It's a mixture of both. A lot of times I'll think of a line or something that stays with me, and it'll be in the back of my head, and when I pick up the guitar or sit at the piano, I'll just kind of play around, and something might remind me of that line or a line I thought about a month ago or something that's been kicking around. And it just kind of comes together. I think like the music has to support the emotion of the lyrics.
Oh, absolutely.
And vice versa.
Absolutely.
So I'll stumble on something that reminds me of that sentiment and try and work it in.
Do your parents ever hear you writing a song and put their 2 cents in?
No. When I lived at home, maybe 8 years ago, that last song I played has a line, "Where are you, my wild son?"
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because I was down, I had my guitar in their basement, and I'm singing, working through it, and it's S-U-N, wild son, but my mom had happened to overhear me and comes down and she said, "Yeah, where is my wild son?"
Right?
So
That's kind of neat.
Yeah.
That's kind of neat. So you play a lot around in the Westerly area and here in New London. Is there any place that you'd like to travel to play that you haven't traveled to yet?
I would love to play over in Europe, just because I hear so many good stories about musicians being over there and not being known or anything, but how supportive people tend to be there of the arts. And, you can walk into a cafe and people will be totally silent and just really listen to the music.
Right. You don't see that as much here.
No, you're often up against a noisy bar or TVs and whatnot, which is, it is what it is. It
is what it is. I find that the thing that happened in the late 60s, early 70s was coffee houses. And I'm seeing that kind of atmosphere is coming back. That and the Tapped Apple and Perks and Corks, kind of like more like a coffee house winery type setting.
Right.
And you find a more listening audience there. Do you prefer that?
Yeah, absolutely.
And do you play to the audience or do you play off the audience?
Both. I kind of feel it out by playing to them, and then I'll get the kind of feeling of what the crowd is leaning towards and then play off them at that point.
Right. Today you did originals. Do you have covers that are favorites of yours to do when you're out? Because I know that if you're out there, you've got to be doing some covers.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and I'll play some bars and stuff where all people want is covers, and I no problem doing that.
What do you have for covers that you like to do?
I kind of run the gamut. I love kind of the playing REM and The Cure and stuff like that.
Really?
But yeah, and I also love going back to Allman Brothers and Grateful Dead and all that.
Okay, that's awesome. You seem to have a very well-rounded musical background. What are some of your earliest influences? You just named a couple of them. Are those ones that stand out in the forefront for you?
Yeah, certainly Allman Brothers and Grateful Dead and the kind of classic rock thing was big when I was a kid. And then when I sort of fell into my own, in the 90s, it was more the later stuff like REM and Fastball, all these kind of, fun, catchy radio bands that still had a little grit and rock to them.
Right.
And now it's evolved into everything.
Who do you think is the most talented, I want to say pop musician today? Who do you think is really out there that has talent? Because a lot of the people that are being played on Top 40 radio are not talented. They kind of are not talented at all. Do you think that anybody that's out there doing Top 40 radio music is talented?
Yeah, they're certainly talented. By everyone's standard, they're talented. It's tough in Top 40 because I think there's a lot of pressure and people around you to, you have to cater to the audience.
Right.
So to even be able to do that, it takes a lot of talent to put aside your own kind of self and write for those people. That said, I don't know who's in the top 40 right now.
Okay.
I'm pretty removed from that.
Right.
So
where do you find your music that you listen to today?
I like Spotify quite a bit, just because it has those sort of algorithms. If you like this, you'll like this kind of thing.
And that exposes you to some new stuff.
It does, yeah.
And does it expose you to the local bands? Do you know any of the local bands and what they're doing?
So the local bands I find just based on shows that I play and the venues I play at, I'm always seeing who's playing, and it just, if I see a name more than twice, I'm going to look them up and kind of get into them. So.
Nice. Who is in the area that you know that you like?
So some of my favorites are the Carlines.
They're awesome.
Oh, yeah.
We love them.
Everything about them, and Jim's band, the Julios, I love. Kayla Farnham, one of my favorite writers around.
She's a great writer, and she's such an entertainer too.
Yeah.
She's so neat to watch.
Yeah.
I've been watching her since she was a lot younger. I've known her for probably a good decade now.
Oh, wow.
So I've watched her grow, and she's become so experienced with not just playing her piano, but being out there and playing her uke and just doing all kinds of fun things.
Yeah, yeah.
Anybody else?
Will Houlihan, Haunt the House, he goes by.
They're coming here
Oh, excellent. Yeah,
in
he's
a
great.
couple weeks.
Nice.
Yeah, that will
Really
be
good
fun.
songwriter, and just a, kind of, Haunt the House is accurate. It's very haunting.
Haunting in a musical kind of spooky way, or haunting in a love story, sad heart kind of way?
Haunting in that kind of way that just hits you. It hits that primal nerve. It just hits you. So
Right.
It's
It's
good.
nice.
Yeah.
So he'll be here in a couple weeks, and that's all wonderful. Now, you said you have a CD coming out maybe in the fall?
Early fall, yep. Hoping for end of summer, but maybe September.
So you and your band will bring that back here to share with my viewers.
Absolutely.
And we'll put it on the radio.
Yeah,
It's going to be that kind of record that we can do that.
for sure.
Not have a lot of swear words in it.
Nope.
I didn't hear any swear words in your writing.
I censor myself. There are some with some minor swears, and there's always a substitute for one.
There's always a substitute for a swear word. Yes,
Yeah.
I agree with you. That's 100%. So if you have your songwriting and your guitar, and you're plopped down on an island, and there's just you and 12 children, what are you going to teach them? Are you going to teach them music, or are you going to teach them something else? What are you going to teach them? It's important for them to grow up and know something. What are you going to be the one that you teach? What is the one thing that you're going to teach to them?
Probably just some basic chords, building blocks. Music is just a language, so you teach people the basics of how to communicate with that language, and let them go from there, find their voice. And
Nice.
yeah.
So as always, we're getting close to the end of the show. Can you tell people where they can find your music and find you? Do you have a Facebook presence, Instagram? Can
So
you give
all
people
the
that
social media stuff, Glenn Kendzia, and the band is Wild Sun. You can find us at wildsunusa.com. Any of the social media sites at wildsunusa/wildsunusa.
Wild Sun USA.
Yeah, there was a band in England trying to steal our name, but
Wow, that's crazy.
they changed it since, but we already had the push of USA, so we just kept it.
Nice, nice. So I asked you before you came to have a song to take us out with.
Yep,
Do you have that all ready to do?
I do.
Wonderful. Glenn, thank you so much for coming to Grandma's Attic. I really appreciate your music, and I really appreciate what you're doing for the musical community.
Thank you so much.
Please
Thanks
keep
for having
doing
me.
what you're doing. Make sure you take your thing off before you go. Thank you so much. So while he's getting back to the guitar, let me just remind you about the galleries downtown. We have so many artsy-fartsy galleries that you should just check out, and they cover a huge spectrum of tastes and delightfulness. So please get down into the city and check out the galleries. Also check out the mom and pop shops, because those people live in your community and they support this community by being a store here. So keep our economy here, and until next week, everybody, God bless. Have a really great week. Bye-bye.
Hope I get another one. I've messed this one up bad. The drink, the drug, the losing touch with everything you had. The chase and catch for pleasure. The love that isn't love. The things I do to feel the way it was. I wanna carve hearted initials into an oak tree. It's been a while since I felt that kind of love. I wanna be the man that I said that I wouldn't be. It's been a bumpy road, but things are looking up. I see my mother and my father, my good fortune to be here. My sister's well and happy, and my dog has 15 years. I can see the color in the sky. I'm not 6 feet underground. I haven't earned the right to feel this broken down. But I wanna carve hearted initials into an oak tree. It's been a while since I felt that kind of love.